What's up, guys, and welcome back to Wake Entertainment. So, Advocate Mnisi managed to force Brigadier Gininda for him to explain exactly why he arrested these five accused and which evidence did he use to pinpoint these five accused. Because the thing is that Brigadier Gininda explains a lot, but in that explanation, in and of itself, there will be no answer to the question that would have been asked. But this time around, Advocate Mnisi managed to get that answer.
Say with certainty that these accused persons that are before court here, I interviewed those people who were in the house and I asked them questions that are relevant to identification of a person who committed this. In you trying to find a collaboration that these are the accused persons, these are the correct suspects that are before court, what information did you rely on? That is the reason why I'm asking you. Did the statement that were given by the people who were in the house, number one. Number two, did the interview that you had with the people who were in the house when this incident happened assist you to find a collaboration in order to pin this accused person with the commission of the offense or not?
I did indicate, and I'll go straight to accused number 3, Mr. Advocate Mnisi's client, that when his name came up, then we had to pursue Cleveland case 9602-2015. Now, when we read, I'll deal with the cell phone, for example, that when the photos that were taken on the date, according to the encryption on, for example, on the date of the 26th, where accused 3, you can see him wearing a khaki top. I did say, my lord, previously that you could corroborate that with what was contained in the statements of 1 or 2 witnesses who were in the house, who said one of the intruders with the dreadlocks was wearing a khaki or brownish jacket. So I've referred, as I was testifying, my lord, I referred to what we found and corroborated that with the statements of the people who were in the house. I think I did get to that effect, my lord.
Well, that's the answer that Brigadier Gininda is giving us. Gininda simply used the statement from the witnesses that one of the people who entered the house had dreadlocks that went up to the neck, and that is the evidence that is only took from the statement of the witnesses, then arrested these 5 accused. So this is where the problem is at, and why Advocate Mnisi was actually questioning Brigadier Gininda. Because how can you just take that evidence only from the statement of the witnesses, then ignore everything else? Because it would appear as if you have your own agenda or something. Because as a leading investigator, it's very, very important to question the people that saw what happened during a scene, to explain exactly what these people looked like. And that's why there are these people who then draw these sketches to try and describe what a person looked like. But Brigadier only took just the dreadlocks only from the statement of the witnesses. But the challenge that is there with these dreadlocks is that Twala actually says these dreadlocks were all over the intruder's face. But the woman actually says it was actually just a ponytail only. So Gininda goes on to use that evidence of dreadlocks from the witnesses, then goes to people who were not even inside the house to collaborate with this evidence, then arrest these 5 accused like 5 years later. But there is this portrait of Mthobisi Mncube that was drawn that resembles him very, very much. And that portrait was obviously drawn with the descriptions from the witnesses who were inside the house, from the likes of Zandile Khumalo to Longwe Twala. And it resembles Mthobisi Mncube very, very much. And you'd like be convinced like, okay, this is him, Mthobisi Mncube, who entered the house. But the real question that we have to ask when it comes to these drawings of the suspect is that, were these drawings drawn before these 5 accused were arrested, or were they drawn after the accused were already arrested. Because if it is before, then there is definitely something to this story. But if it is after, then these drones do not hold any water whatsoever. So Mthobisi Mncube was actually described as having these big eyes and those small eyebrows in that face. And if you look at the drawing that actually circulates on social media, you will definitely pinpoint Mthobisi Mncube, accused number 3, is definitely the one. So maybe Gininda, with the way he did his investigations just to pick those dreadlocks and those big eyes, maybe he might be correct on this one. But the challenge with this dreadlock evidence is that it once led investigators astray and made them to arrest the wrong person. And that guy, Mr. Mbata, spent like a couple of days behind bars just because of like poor witness memory. Because people, they obviously do not remember like all the details clearly of a suspect, because when these events happen, nobody will be thinking of memorizing what the suspects look like, and they'll be recalling and recalling. So when you are then told to pick that person, you then describe the wrong person. Or the sketch artist himself, he may just draw somebody else, then somebody out there is just unlucky just to match the drawing that has been drawn by this artist. So this is the challenge with the issue of the dreadlocks in the sketches of these facial features of accused number 3. Because the perspective of the witnesses, it varies like from people to people, and people have their own discrepancies. So when the witness tries to recall the suspect, they may describe the facial features, and another one will be describing like the posture and stuff, and the artist will be thinking of something else and trying to connect all of this information. Then all of this information, once it is compiled by the sketch artist, it then falls onto the wrong person. So in terms of the investigations, simply because the witnesses that in the house, they first identified the wrong person, then Gininda has to like throw away everything that the witnesses told him when it comes to identifying the suspects, because these witnesses in and of themselves, they are not reliable in what they are saying. But obviously Advocate Mnisi was pressing Gininda to try and see if he used any of the information that came from the witnesses. And the answer, it obviously came out that Gininda did not use the information that came from the witnesses. He only used the information that he collaborated himself around this case. And this information, this evidence, it came from people who claim they saw what happened from like miles away, and others obviously they were seeing from outside the house. And that is the information that Brigadier Gininda relied on. So tell me what you think in the comment section, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.